Well, good morning, good afternoon to some of you fine folk watching today. Good evening, perhaps. We do have people watching in the evening and that sort of thing there. Thank you so much that you have decided to spend part of your day here with us. It's always good to have you here, whether you're watching the live, the replay. It all counts the same to me. I love each and every one of you for tuning in. And I brought along my good friend Jess from So Blessed by Jess. It's been a long time since sips of coffee together. So thank you for joining me. Welcome. And I'm just going to let you introduce yourself just for the folks that may not know who you are yet.
Hi, yes, I'm Jess by So Blessed by Jess, and I am a year and a half on YouTube right now. Like, I'm having so much fun. It's a blast. When I'm a teacher by day, mom. We're in softball season. Actually, we're taking a break right now, but and then on my channel, you can find a bunch of like tutorials with blocks. I love sharing the craft and the passion that I have with quilting, and I've even started making clothes. So,
Oh, very
yeah.
nice. Yeah, I have not dwelled into the clothes yet. I just admire those that make clothes. Like I'm thinking of, like I saw Stephen in the chat a minute ago. His husband Walter makes the most beautiful men's shirts. Like
Oh,
he does, and I'd love to make a vest or a jacket or quilted jacket or something like that for QuiltCon next year. Now I'll probably keep saying
yeah,
that and not get around to it, but um, the, the
yeah,
the aim is there. I need someone to keep me accountable, that sort of thing there. So
yeah.
let's see who is here with us this morning. I see my friend Ange is here from the UK. Good morning to you. I've been curious how you are doing because I haven't heard from you in a while. So it's really good to see you. Leanna, good morning to you. I need to send you a message later on today because I have a crazy idea for you and I. Um, so it's good to see you here this morning. Polly was our first viewer this morning, as I think we talked about Stephen. Apparently, our bot is not working again this morning, so I don't know. We'll just have to do it old school.
Mm.
That's okay, though. Christina, good afternoon from Stockholm. It's good to see you as well. Dawn Stewart, good morning to Miss Fallon. Muriel is here with us as well. Good morning, Miss Annette. Good morning, Cherie. It's good to see you, Candace, Teresa, Judy, Susan, good evening, late evening for you in Melbourne, Australia. It's currently just after 10 p.m. there. Carrie is here with us as well from, I want to say Norway. Let me get it right. Please tell me I got the right Nordic country. Leanna, Nikki B, and Sheila, good morning. I haven't heard from you in a while this morning. I was thinking about you the other day. I was like, I wonder how my mate Sheila's doing, and here she is. So it's good to see you.
I was just
Um,
with her last
so, yeah. So all
night.
right. So, what are we working on this morning? Jess, do you want to tell
Yeah.
us what you brought along to work on? I hope you brought something to work on. If
Oh,
not,
I
that's okay.
do. I have.
Okay.
Um, if you've watched my shorts lately, I'm making a quilt top into a dress. And so I've made 3 parts of actually just the blocks themselves, and now I'm just gonna start sewing together so that, I can start making a dress. I can put the dress
Very
pattern with it
nice.
later on this afternoon. Mhm.
And you should totally like if you once you make these dresses and that, definitely put them into the state fair. I don't think you live
Oh, I didn't
far
think
from the
about
state
that.
fair because I did that last year. I put the like a small dress that I made for actually it's against my niece now. Yeah, just a simple dress. It wasn't anything fancy. I put it in the state fair last year just to see what would happen, and they gave me a pretty red second place ribbon for it. So I'm excited about that. So yeah, definitely do that. I think there'll be a lot of fun there. Sewing on the Bluff. Good morning to you. It's good to see you as well. Deb S is here with us, yoga and quilts, and yeah, okay. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So what am I working on? Well, I am crazy, as you well all know, I think, and I figured let's do another Elizabeth Hartland pattern on the live. If it helps.
Absolutely.
I need help. I shouldn't do these complicated things, but I like to punish myself. So I've been working on the produce section for
Oh,
quite a
yes.
long time, and I am now working on the final block. So you can see we're starting to put this together.
Mm.
Did the blueberries most recently, and so we're starting to assemble this. I have one more block, which is the grapefruits. So I'm going to try and assemble that, and then hopefully, if all goes well, we can assemble this quilt top and see it completed, hopefully by tomorrow's podcast. I'd like to say by the end of today's live, but I think that's a little ambitious. So that's
Mhm.
what I have going on. Okay, so yes, Norway for Kiri. I got the right country because I know I have one. I think it's let's see. I'm bad at Christina is Stockholm, which is my geography is horrible this morning, and it's showing Sweden. Okay, yes. Okay, so we've got Sweden and Norway. We need someone from Finland. I'd love to hear someone
Oh,
from Finland pop in one day and say hi, everyone. Good morning to Miss Zaza. We have Scotland represented now. So yeah, it's like quite the international little party here. It's like that in my house
mhm.
every day. It's like I always tell
I
my
love that.
the international house of people. It's IHOP here, because it's there's me, there's Ali from Denmark, Eva from Germany. I mean, my poor wife's the only American in the bunch. So
Are they all quilters also, or?
no, I've only ever had one quilt with me. I taught Lorenzo how to quilt last year.
Mhm.
But yeah, the others have never really shown a whole lot of interest in it.
Oh,
But that's okay.
mhm.
Ellie loves crochet and knitting, so her and Amanda have had a lot of fun over the year.
Oh, yes. I bet they did.
But I have I did give the girls an idea last night, and they both are very much up for it. We did pick out fabrics last week for the next exchange student who'll be joining us in late August,
Mhm.
um, from Belgium, and we're making her a quilt. I always we make the kids a quilt to have on their bed, so that way when they get here, it's something pretty and it's something for them to keep. It's theirs. It's not being handed down from kid to kid. And so we picked out the fabrics for her. They're all pinks. And
Yeah.
I asked the girls last night. The girls did a wonderful job picking out these fabrics. I figured I'd be in the store for an hour. We were in and out in like 20 minutes. Like it was fantastic. And it was the non-crafty one. Eva is not a crafter. She was the one like grabbing bolts and pulling them out, and they were all perfect. Like she did a fantastic job. I figured it would be Allie, would be the
Mhm.
one picking out the fabrics. But she did, so, Eva did a fantastic job, picked out these fabrics almost instantly. And I asked them last night, I said, how would you guys feel about sewing a little part of it? So that way we can tell
Oh, yeah.
that not only did they pick out the fabrics, they helped me sew it. They don't have to do a lot, and they're both up for it. I was a little surprised. I figured Eva would not be super confident, but she was like, oh, yeah, absolutely. So
Mhm.
that's going to be a lot of fun there as well. So there we go. So I'm bouncing around from place to place. I'm
Yeah, I
up
remember
there.
when you made the girls last year, last fall. I remember when you made their quilts, and they were so beautiful.
They were, and they
Mhm.
love them. It was like one of the highlights of the year. And for them is like they just think it's fantastic. And it's a fairly easy. I just do an easy patchwork quilt, 8.5-inch squares, so I can knock them out. Especially last year, I had two of them to make, so
Mhm.
I didn't want to make it anything extravagant because if you leave me to my own devices, I will do the most complicated pattern ever, and you'll get it in like 2032. So
That sounds about right with me too.
I have to behave. Just bring that to the right length. Yes, okay. I've already had to rip this one once, so I want to make sure I didn't mess it up a second time. Okay, so um, I'm sorry to hear Angela's been ill, but she says she's doing a little bit better, a long way to go. But it's so good to see you, Angela. It really is.
Mhm.
So, well, that's an idea. Made by Misty said the girls should sign the blocks they make.
Oh,
That's an
yes.
idea. Yeah, I'm gonna have to sit there and figure out how to do that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one
Okay.
of those little, fabric pens
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I might have to go out and grab one
in
of
your
those.
favorite color or
I
something.
love I love the ideas you all give me. It really is wonderful that you do that because I have some ideas in my head, but I don't have all the good ideas. So thank you for that. We will definitely have to figure out a way to do that. I really like that idea. Good morning, Miss Linda. It's good to see you. Giovanna, buongiorno to you as well. She's my friend from
Yeah.
Italy. She actually lives like just down the road from Lorenzo. She's very like within a few miles or kilometers, from what I understand. Oh, look at that. It looks nice. So this is part of my grapefruit.
Mhm.
I'm using a grunge and then this. I was looking for a second fabric that was matching, and I was like, I don't know if I want to use a grunge and a solid together. But we got this like little, I don't know, it's like straight lines on it. And I think that'll look really, really nice in the grapefruit. And then the outside, I have this beautiful batik. I thought
Oh, I
would look
like
really, really. I thought I put this in the center, and I was like, no, that's a little too much. But I think around the edge, it just kept speaking to me. I tried putting it back in the thing like 3 times last night, and it just kept talking to me. And I'm like, okay, I'll use you. Okay, so as I said, a micron pen or a Sharpie. Okay, yeah, I think that's a really, really good idea. Yeah, Sheila's asking, are we just having one student next year? Yes. The answer to that is yes. We had planned to host 2 again, but the local public schools here only allow a certain number of exchange students. And by the time we had selected student number 2, the school was already full. So
Do they
out
do
of
that
our,
for like just immersion like
I think it's
um
been overcrowding us. I don't know. I mean,
okay.
that's just the rule
Yeah,
that they have. We can't get around it. So
that
um,
stinks, but I understand.
yeah, but we do what we can. Oh, good morning, Mr. Null. I think I missed saying hi to you earlier.
Good morning, good morning.
Georgie is here as well. Sandy, good morning. So yeah, okay, all right. So I'm going to keep moving along with this because otherwise I'll get nothing done, and that's never good. So, Jess, what have you been up to recently? I mean, it's been about a year since I've had you on the channel, which is way too long. I need to fix that problem next time.
Oh, um, well, school got out at the end in the middle of May, so I've been like on summer vacation mode.
Oh, nice.
Been trying to go to every quilt show possible that I can get myself into.
You coming to
Um,
Richmond in a couple of weeks?
I am, so it's next weekend, not next weekend, but the weekend after.
Yeah, it's a fortnight
So
from now. Yeah. Oh,
yeah, I'm
nice.
leaving for New York next week, and I told my mom, I was like, "Ooh, I accidentally overscheduled myself. I'm leaving early." So, we'll be leaving New York a little bit earlier so that I can come home, drop off the girls because they're not gonna wanna do it, and head back to Richmond because it's only 2.5 hours from me, maybe 3 depending
So
on
it's not.
traffic.
Yeah, so it's not far for you. So,
Mhm.
because you're in like the Raleigh area, correct? Or am I just
Yeah,
imagining that?
yeah, I'm just west of Raleigh.
Okay.
Yep, already planning on QuiltCon and figuring out,
Well, if you're only
all of
like
that
20
piece.
minutes away from that, you'd be silly not to go.
Oh, I know. Oh, I was silly the last time. I didn't go to the first one.
Oh, okay.
Um, but I didn't know QuiltCon. I was, like, new to that whole quilt show world.
Yeah.
Um, and then after I went to Road to California last in January, um, I was like, "Oh, this is fun. Oh, I like going to these things," like, and meeting designers and, um, I want to attend some classes and just things that are outside my comfort zone so that I can learn some new skills. That's my goal.
Yeah, that is awesome. I have not attended a class ever, and I keep thinking about it, but then I never go. And then last weekend I was talking about the idea of me teaching a class, so we'll have to see how that goes.
Mhm.
Um, we'll have to see. But no, I'm excited that you're coming up to Richmond. Are you going on the Saturday or are you going a different day?
I'll probably be going on Saturday, yeah,
Oh, nice. Okay, we'll have to definitely figure out a way to meet up because
because Tasha's coming down from New York too.
yes, Tasha's coming down. I'll be there. Becca is going as well.
Oh,
I've talked
wonderful.
to her.
Yeah.
I'm assuming if she's going, Ian will probably make an appearance.
Oh, yeah.
I can't confirm that because I have not actually said, for sure if Ian's going, but I'm
Mhm.
figuring if Becca makes an appearance, he will tag along. So yeah, it'll be nice to see all of those folks. And I don't know, like I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do that morning because Sheila's going as well. It'll be nice to see you again. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to have a live that morning.
Oh,
And
okay. Mhm.
if so, where am I going to be doing the live from? Will I do it from here and leave early? Will I go up there? I mean, the problem is there's no like spot around the convention center that would be conducive for a live. There's, I figured if I could find a park or something like that, it'd be great. But there's no parks anywhere close.
Yeah, the closest one's Pullen Park, and it has like an old timey. It's on the downtown side of Raleigh, and it has a caboose and a carousel.
Okay.
A train that goes around, and it's a really nice park for families. And then there's a farmer's market on the other side, like in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I'll have to figure something out,
Yeah.
because I'm only like, I think from my house to downtown Richmond, if there's no traffic, which usually there isn't on Saturday morning, I can be in Richmond in about an hour and 15 minutes.
But NC State's right there. It's a huge university. So
NC State? How can NC State be in Richmond?
Go Wolfpack. Oh, I'm talking about North Carolina. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm still in North Carolina.
I was like,
in Road to Virginia. Oh, I don't know about that. Oh, I was stuck.
Oh yeah. Raleigh, I have. I think I'm just going to take the day off that time because I'll probably leave here about 6:30 like I did last time. It's about 3 hours for me down to Raleigh. So I was sitting thinking, Richmond pretty well for being in North Carolina. I was like, that's
well,
impressive.
I drive through it a lot, so I do go to Richmond. Probably Sheila would know more with her being. I think she lives right there. So
yeah, well, she actually lives closer to me. I mean, I found a place down by the river, and I thought that'd be nice, and I just had to move afterwards, So right now, that's kind of the spot. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. How we're going to work that particular morning out. That, or I might just stay here. Maybe do a short and live, and then leave here at 9, and just rock up there at like 10:15. Let the crowd get in there, and that's kind of what I did with QuiltCon. Is I rocked up there at 10 o'clock. Parked my car at 10, and by the time I got in, the crowd that had formed 30 minutes earlier had already gone inside. So, I mean, I just kind of walked straight in. So that's always an option as well. Okay. Zaza's coming to QuiltCon next year, so that'll be awesome to see her. And
we're gonna have a big meetup next year with all of our friends. I have a feeling.
Yeah, that's what we did last year. We all met up, and I think we might do something similar, in Richmond if we could figure out a place to meet. Usually, I think we met by some of the classrooms in QuiltCon last year. That way, we can all meet in the one place. So I think we could do something like that. So yeah, if you are planning on coming up to Richmond in a couple of weeks, please let us know. So we kind of can get an idea of what's going on. Teresa said she's probably going to try and go as well. That is awesome. So let's see. And then someone said I should write the name on the quilt with the 620 here. And I was actually thinking about that. I have not tried the lettering on this yet. And that might be a good excuse to give it a go. So yeah, I might play it this afternoon and see if that's an option, because it'd be nice to have it in with the stitching, so that way it's permanent. I really like that idea as well. Mueller says, if Ian Becker added in the trifecta is Tiffany too, I wonder if she'll be able to go. I have not heard anything about her coming out to Virginia, unfortunately. So I don't think she'll be here for the Richmond show. Next year for QuiltCon, it's a definite possibility. I haven't had a chance to talk to her or Becca or anything else like that about that yet, but there we go. Okay, Lobby Hill Park has a cool view. Bird Park. Okay, I might have to talk to Sheila later on and get some ideas, but I don't know. Maybe doing a live from Richmond nearby might be fun. Maybe I can drag Tasha or someone else down there with me.
Yeah.
Bring a couple of you. We'll just have like a big old live of everybody,
Yeah.
If anyone's silly enough to come down with me, All right, so got this.
Oh, that's looking good. Your lines are so straight. Oh, it would take me forever.
It's a lot of practice.
Okay. That's what I'm afraid about with small blocks. I've noticed with this 4th of July quilt that I'm putting together on my channel, that the 6.5-inch blocks, I'm dealing a lot with smaller pieces, and I didn't do so well on this last block, but I had to redo it. But it's just because I sew too fast, I think.
Oh, okay,
My
that
time
makes
is up.
sense. Wish you'd tell me how big these things are supposed to be. Why am I making my life difficult when I have a perfectly good tool here that I can use?
Mm,
What's that, 4.5? 3.5. There we go. All right, bear with me a moment. Now I need my other cutter. Where'd you go? You think I'd come to these things organized, but I don't.
oh, I never do. I'm always just up and around just trying to figure out what I need.
Yep.
Um,
All right. Giovanna says she needs a nap, which makes good sense to me.
yes, enjoy your nap, Giovanna.
Naps are heavenly. I love naps. I don't get them very often anymore because we're always running around out and about with the kids. But
Mhm.
whenever I get a chance to take one, it's wonderful.
It's
I
welcome.
could
It's
go back and tell myself something as a young kid to be like, just embrace the nap.
I take a nap almost every day. So, or I'll never make it to dinner. Never.
I take naps during like when I go to the movie cinema and stuff, so I don't get to go there very often. So I
Um,
did make it through 2 graduation ceremonies this year without falling asleep, so that's an achievement.
yes. I'm not somebody to sit still. So as soon as I'm sitting still, my body starts shutting down. It's like, okay, no.
You're in good company here with me then.
Oh, I know. That's why I always told the kids, I'm like, this is why I have a couch in my classroom. So when you guys are gone, I can take a nap.
Oh, there you go. So do you teach elementary, middle, high school?
I teach upper elementary students.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
so 4th grade, math and science only, but which
Oh, so
I've
your
done it
kids
all.
move
But
about?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Your kids move about to different classes? Like, it's like when I was in elementary school, we all stayed with the same teacher all the time.
Yeah, this is the first year that they actually move between 2 teachers. So,
Okay.
my team teacher teaches social studies and, reading and writing in ELA, and then I just teach the math and science piece. So,
Okay.
it's
I think that's a great
definitely
idea
for them.
because, like, my school, and this has gone back a very long time. eh, we didn't have middle school,
Mm,
and so we had K6 was our what we call primary school, and then 7 through 12 was our high school. And so, like K5, you were with the same teacher for all your lessons, and then I think we were the first year they tried this where they switched you around in 6th grade. You went to a spelling class, a math class, and something else. So you actually moved around. So they kind of got you ready for high school. And that sounds
mhm.
very similar to what you guys do there, which I think is fantastic because when we landed at the high school, we weren't so confused, moving from class to class. So I think it's fantastic that you guys are doing that.
Yeah, and then it just gives and I do feel that it's helpful with just getting all of the information that they need to learn for the year because you're not spread out so much with all 4 subjects.
Yeah.
You're just concentrating on 2 of like, math is my primary, and, I do have science time every day, but sometimes we just double math, especially at the end of the year when I have all my science stuff done. But,
Double math, that's terrible. Is what your kids would do.
it can be. It can be. To those friends that aren't math wizards. That's what I call them, math wizards. But,
Yeah, that's fun.
yeah. Oh. We start again, though, at the beginning of August. So, I
Yeah,
can't
it's
wait.
the tough part. It's always going back. It's like when you go on vacation.
Yeah.
It's always tough to go back at the end. Good morning, Mr. Russ. It's good to see you.
Good morning.
Let's see. Mama J and Andrea, it's good to see you as well. She says, I take a lot of unplanned naps. If I sit down to rest my legs and feet, I'm out. I might don't want to go to bed. Like I have a book to read when I go to bed, and I roll, I turn over and like I count to 5 and I'm out. So
Yeah. Oh, I wish I
well,
could go to sleep that easily.
I never used to be able to. Like I used to be up all night rolling around and everything else, but it seems like the last couple of years, it's as soon as my head hits that pillow, I'm out cold. I
Hmm.
don't know what it is. So let's see. All right, Zaza says she has to go. Well, thank you for joining us for a little while. I know
Have a
I'm
great
missing
day.
stuff here. Dawn says that she's a nap queen. The dogs know want to take a nap and they race for a nap. My dogs, that's another reason I go live this early in the morning is I get up, I feed the animals, including Rowena. So, she's always dancing around looking for her meal. And okay, Misty, I am sorry to hear that. Send me an email. I was afraid that might happen. It should have sent to you automatically. She's saying that she signed up for the newsletter but didn't get the pattern. Did you miss something? I'm not. I'm assuming it's a glitch. Send me an email. The guy who sews at gmail.com. It's in the description if you forget it. Send me a message and I will forward that pattern over to you as soon as I can. If you do it right after the live or during the live, I'll get it to you as soon as we're done. So apparently everybody else, I haven't heard anybody else have any issues. I tested it with my members first.
Hmm.
I had Tasha test it for me. It seems to work just fine in D&D, but it's like anything, nothing is perfect. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's
send me a
definitely good.
message. I'll get you taken care of. Don't worry about that. Okay, Yoga and Quilts, please let me know what your name is because I forget. I am terrible with names. She says she feels much more rested since starting on a CPAP. Yeah, I've heard that works too. I don't
Yeah.
know that I can do that.
Been there,
But
done that. Yeah, I was on a CPAP, 6 years ago now. Um, I had gastric bypass surgery, so before I had to get on that machine before I could have surgery. So
oh,
it's no
okay.
fun, but
Hey, you
it's
do what you got to do, right?
exactly. But I never slept so well. I never realized like just having my airway open was causing me not to sleep so well.
Yeah,
But
I could probably benefit from that, but I'm not going to go do a sleep study and all that mess. So I think I'll just survive.
mhm.
I'm terrible though. I don't like going to doctors and all that sort of mess. So okay, let's see. What am I doing now? Hopefully not messing things up. No, Joy, the newsletter is not just for members only. It is for anyone. All you have to do is let me go grab the link for that because I'm going to get confused. Bear with me a second.
Mhm.
My videos. It's a month. I'm putting out a monthly newsletter. It's just going to kind of tell you like what's going on and everything else. It is available for each and everybody. I just did it to the members first, just to see if there was any issues. I wanted to be a smaller group of people to tell me there was a bunch of issues rather than releasing everybody and their brother and having like 50 or 60 emails if something went wrong. So
Mhm.
if that makes sense. But no, yeah, everybody's invited to sign up for the newsletter. And I'm just going to throw the link into the. There we go. The link is there now. And I'll put it in the description of this video as well. So that way, if you're watching the replay, you can see what I'm talking about. What are you doing? This is smaller, bigger. We'll have to find out.
Yes, Candace, I'm no longer using it. That is true.
Okay, let's see. Same thing happened to me. Check your junk mail. Yeah, so if you don't find if it's not in your junk mail, if you don't get the pattern for whatever reason, please reach out to me. I'll make sure you get it. It's not a huge concern. And I had it set up that once you confirmed your email, it was supposed to send it to you automatically. But I figured there was going to be a glitch here and there for a handful of people, if not more. So yeah, if that happens, just we'll get you taken care of. I'm not, there's no way you're going to miss out. There's all, but you do have to tell me because I can't fix a problem if I don't know it exists.
Exactly.
Just in general,
Mm-hmm.
like that with work, my customers will come to me later on and tell me all these stories about this problem, that problem. Why didn't you fix them? If I didn't know about it, how am I supposed to fix it? Come tell me right away.
Exactly. Like shoot me
I'll
a
jump right on it.
email. Yeah.
All right, so we are actually making good progress on this. I am shocked. It's only 8:30, and this was going to be the most difficult part of this pattern. The part I feared the most. And I figured if I was going to mess it up, this was going to be it. Let's see, what have I done here? So we've done this much. And I think it called for like white in the middle, but I figured this is very, very, very like pink.
Yeah, that will go
really
beautiful.
Because I don't have a lot of white fabric either. I think I need to go find some. I should have bought some at the quilt shop last week if I was smart, but I was more focused on getting the fabric for the girls.
Yes, absolutely.
Which
And
we
that
achieved.
must have been so much fun though, to pick all that fabric out.
Oh, it was. I just, absolutely floored on how quickly that went.
I haven't been inside of a fabric store in months. So.
Okay, so here's a question I'm going to throw out to everybody as well.
Mm-hmm.
The fabric store I went to last week, Fabric Hut. Sometimes I go and it's dead. Sometimes there's quite a decent number of people there. But when I went last week, I had to park around like the back of the building because it was so like all the spots were filled. And I was wondering to myself, I was like, I wonder if this has got anything to do with the fact that Joann's is closed.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah. And so what I'd love to hear is, has anyone else experienced your local quilt shop being more busy since Joann's have disappeared in your community? I'm just curious. I figured since I'm on live and I have the ability to ask a bunch of people in one place, have you experienced that? Because I was like, did I miss like some big sale they have going on or something like that? It's just because they do these big like warehouse sales a couple of times a year and that sort of thing there. And I was like, did I pick the wrong day to come? Like once I got inside, I mean, it was the people were just around shopping. I didn't have to wait very long for my cutting and anything else. But
that's always good. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just a bit worried. I was like, oh, geez, I'm going to be here for years. But no, I mean, once I got inside, they were properly staffed and everything else, which was really, really good. So, I'm just curious to see what everybody else has got to go. Okay, Fallon asked me here, do I ask the exchange students what colors they like, or do you just pick something you feel like working on? I do ask the kids what their favorite colors are. That is a very, very good question. Yeah, like last year, although it doesn't always work out that way, because last year, I think Ali said green and yellow, and Ali said, green and yellow. Eva was, their names are so similar to me sometimes, was green and red. And I'm sitting there trying to figure this stuff out. Green and red, I was like, I can't do this without it looking like a Christmas quilt. And the green and yellow looked kind of strange to me, too. It was going to look like an Australian Olympic team quilt. So I decided, you know what? We're just doing rainbow with batiks, and that's it. So it doesn't always work out to be their favorite colors. It usually is. Like Simon's was purple, black, and blue. And so he was the first, because I was actually going to give him a different quilt that ended up going to Lorenzo. But once we found out what his favorite, so I do ask the kids what their favorite colors are. They have no idea I'm making a quilt for them, but I just kind of say, hey, by the way, what's your favorite color? And this one, she loves everything pink. So for her, it was easy. So there we go.
Do you tell them that you're part of the YouTube community and you can, before you meet them, or do you wait for them to be in the United States?
And I don't want to tell this one that because she's going to find out.
Yeah. Okay.
But I do. Yeah. And that's another thing I do as well is, when they get here, I say, I do have a YouTube channel. And then I also ask them, do I have your permission to show you on the videos as well? So that way it's not a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And if they say no for whatever reason, then you might see the back of their head or something once in a while. But I try to
Assuming
keep
that they're
their,
still there. Yeah.
yeah. That way you still see they're alive, and that sort of thing there as well. So, okay. So, let's see. All right, Holly says her local quilt shop closed in January. Muriel says, I do notice there are a lot of cars parked next door in my neighborhood. I am shopping for fabric for my own stash in my house. Do you think that they know I have a lot of fabric? It's always possible. You never know, Muriel. Joy says, I see Hobby Lobby and Michael's fabric department busier. Walmart lots always packed. I avoid Volleyball. I definitely understand that there as well. So, good morning. Okay, 3D Print Mania. Good morning. She said, they say, oh, I'm late. Anyway, hey, have been busy with 3D printing, but thought I'd drop by to say g'day. Well, thank you so much for joining us for a little bit.
Yes.
I've never tried 3D printing, but it looks like a lot of fun. I know Stephen does a lot of that. I actually have some of his products. He sent this to me. This is like my little trash can that I
Oh, that's
use.
beautiful.
Yeah, he made this for me because I was on one of his presenters and one of his. He does a quilt retreat twice a year, and he has presenters, and that was like part of his thank you gift. And I love that thing. I use that as my little scrap bin, where I put my offcuts and that. It's really really nice. So okay, last Tuesday, Pat says the last Tuesday our shop was so busy I didn't stop. So yeah, it seems like they are the local quilt shops are benefiting from this. And then apparently Michael's has bought a lot of the Joanne stuff, so you might see more.
Yeah, the debate with
Yeah,
my friends, like, is it all going to be online or are we going to see some things in the store? So,
I'm figuring my guess, and I have no affiliation of them. I have, obviously I know nothing. I'm figuring you got to probably see a lot of pre-cuts. You might see half yard cuts and full yard, kind of like what you see in Walmart. Like, they have the bolts, but you see a lot of the stuff where it's already you buy a yard of whatever fabric it is, and you just pick it up and scan it, and off you go on your merry way.
okay.
So, but that's just my best guess. So if I'm wrong, there you go. Oh, Miss Pam. Okay, got you. All right. So, yeah, Pam has been a good friend of mine for a long time. I didn't realize she changed the channel name. She's tried quilting, but she's really, really fallen in love with doing 3D printing and resin and that sort of thing there as well. So, good evening to you. That makes sense. All right, please read my above comment about your file. Okay, hang on a second. Let me see. What did Miss I went to try the email confirmation, but it was there. Confirm my email automatically. Okay, so yeah, that is one thing we do. When you go to sign up for the newsletter, you will be sent a confirmation email to your account, and you do need to go into your email and there's a confirm button. You hit that. Once that happens, you should
Mm,
the pattern should pop up straight. I think it pops up straight away if I remember correctly. If not, it'll. But if you run into problems, don't just contact me. Send me a quick email. Say, look, Sean, I'm having issues with this, and I'll just shoot the pattern over to you. Not a big problem. I'm not going to have you jump through a million hoops if you're running into problems, because that's the lot. Especially if you're not good with technology. The last thing I want to do is make your life more difficult. I just want to give you a solution that can get you out the door and on your merry, merry way. So, good morning. Okay, so Amanda's here. Good morning to you. Happy Saturday. I'm hopping in to say hi on my way to chop all my hair off. Okay,
oh,
well, I'm sure it'll look nice. I hope you have a good stylist like I do. I love my stylist.
yeah.
My wife and I go to the same one, which is really, really nice. We just book back to back appointments. And I don't know about anybody else, but I don't know, like it takes me forever to find a stylist I like. Do you think a guy's hair would be easy to cut? No, it's not. It's not as I understand it's not as difficult as trying to find a good one for the ladies, but it's
Mm.
it's a
Yeah, I cut
challenge.
my own. I just keep it just I'll take a couple inches off, but I don't do very much with my hair.
Oh, there you go. That works too.
And then I just buzz
Okay.
my husband's. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really iffy with my hair. I've only had a couple people that just haven't ruined it Oh, that's how I felt about it at the time anyway.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I had the same styles in Australia from like I think I had her from when she was an apprentice, like I was like 8, and every time she moved salons, I just moved from her, move around with her, and then when I moved here, I asked her if she was interested in moving to the US, and she said no. She was happy where she was. I was like, well, dang it. And then yeah, I bounced around. I went to different barbershops and I went here and there. And I was just never happy with it. And Amanda looked at me one time. She's like, "Do you want to just go to I love Sarah. Do you want to try? You want to try having her cut your hair?" And I'm like, at this point, I'm willing to try anything. So, and I
Mhm.
went to her, and I love what she does. I just sit down in the chair and say, "Do what you want," which she loves. So it just works out. And yeah, we just book. We just go to the salon together. She cuts my hair while they're processing hers or whatever I don't know what they do to her hair. I just pay the bill at the end of the day. Uh,
Yes.
There you go. Oh, that reminds me too. Candace says she hasn't had her hair cut by a professional since before COVID. I just trimmed my own hair. It was so curly, it doesn't take much skill. Yeah, COVID was a mess for me because it was like 6 or 7 months between haircuts, and I was taking a pair of scissors and just hacking away after a bit. So there's some photos of that didn't look that good. So we won't be sharing those. All right, which way? Not sure. This is not that hard. All right, let's go look at the picture. Wendy says, I love Elizabeth Hartman pattern. She has great instruction. Yeah, she has really good instructions. It makes it easy to. Oh, did I put this on the wrong side? Oh, I certainly did. Oh, that's not good. Oh, hang on. I can use it down there. Never mind. Whew. I'm not sure.
You're
I
lucky because
thought it
I've
might.
already had to get mine out. Yeah.
Oh, I've already had to pull it my very, very bestest friend once. So, and that was before we got online because I didn't trim one of these things. You always
Mm.
didn't see that. Jess might have, but that's that. Did I get that right? Yes, I did. Okay. Yes, and I do talk to myself a lot, if you haven't noticed that already, and that's okay. Okay, let's see. Quilting a Day, I think, has Hartman patterns on sale today. Oh, I didn't need to know that.
Oh,
Um,
good to know.
I know I'm about to go take a look at that. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't gone to Hobby Lobby in a while. I need to go there and check out their fabric because I've been there in the past and I've always
Mhm.
found some fun stuff there. Got some not Elizabeth Hartman, what's it called? Wizard of Oz fabric there, like the yellow brick road
Oh,
fabric that I actually ended up using on my Wizard of
mm,
Oz quilt from Art East.
yeah. Next
Because it was
week is
supposed to
the
be like,
40% off week, by the way.
which one?
Next week, Hobby Lobby 40% off.
Oh, okay. I might have to go check that out then. Okay. Good morning, Miss Amy. It's good to see you, Miss Amy Dement.
Good
Yeah,
morning.
and she actually flies back to Atlanta from Austin to get her hair done. I've seen her talk about that in the past. I think that's amazing. Yeah, because like the lady we go to, I think she's had people like drive down from Northern Virginia and stuff too. So yeah, there are some folks that love their stylist so much they will fly, drive or fly all that sort of great distances to get it taken care of. I'm not flying back to Australia to get my hair done. It'd be nice, but
No.
um, yeah, that's like a $3,000 haircut. Okay, so Sheila, there are two Hobby Lobbies on the south side. There's one on Greenbrier Parkway, where like in the Target Center, where the Babies R Us used to be next to Best Buy. And then there's one on Virginia Beach Boulevard in Virginia Beach, just before Lynn Haven.
Hmm.
The one near Lynn Haven is actually close to my work. It's a good thing that I forget it's there because I could probably drive down there during my lunch hour and spend
Mhm.
my paycheck. So it's probably best that I forget that it's there.
Yes. Oh,
There you go.
but
All
I
right.
do buy, my solid fabric from Hobby Lobby. When it's the
Okay.
40% off week, they have the Kona is very much like it's Kona. So,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. That's what I'm making this quilt out of. It's, um, but it's very
I didn't
costly.
realize they had it there. I usually go to the Fabric Hut store, like our local quilt shop, because they stock the entire line of Kerner.
Hmm.
So I'm very fortunate they do that. I think that looks really good for the grapefruit, the two different fabrics. I don't
Oh
know about
yeah,
anybody else.
it's looking great.
Okay, excellent. Judy says her daughter has a client that flies from Alaska for a hair appointment.
Oh my word.
Joy says her son has got pretty good at giving her buzz cuts. That's awesome. It's always nice when you have a family member or something to do it as well, because that way you have to make an appointment. You just tell them, get over here and do this.
Yes.
I figure one day if I ever go bald, I'll just do the same thing. I'll just have to teach Amanda how to use clippers. Hopefully that won't happen. But apparently your hair stuff comes from your mother's side of the family, and they're all, all the gentlemen on that side of the family are bald. So it's thinning up here, and thankfully it seems to have slowed down or stopped.
Mhm.
But she just, I don't know. You just never know. I'm not out of the woods yet.
No, but yeah, it'll be a long time if that ever happens. Yeah.
So I really thought, I thought I'd be sick because my father, I took after my father. If you look at a picture of me and my dad, we look almost identical. I don't need to go to Maury and get a paternity test to know that, my dad is my dad. Uh, and so I think, okay, look, I'm set. I don't have to worry about my hair falling out or anything else like that because his hair is like as thick as, a forest. So yeah, but no, it's like the last few years, it just starts thinning and thinning and thinning. So I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens.
Mhm.
You come back in 5 years and you see a bald Sean, you know why. So, but yeah, someone told me on a live, I don't know, like a month or two ago, that apparently your hair a lot of the time is hereditary from your mother's side. So I don't know how true that is,
That's what I've
but
heard too.
okay. Please tell, okay, we've done this right. Amy says, only when I'm going through Atlanta already. I have a dear friend here in Austin. She's a stylist that I finally convinced to cut my hair. Okay, well, it makes sense if you're going through Atlanta. I haven't been,
Mhm.
only time I've ever been to Atlanta is a connection at the airport one time. It's not a city I've visited yet.
I've
Molly
been
says
to
she's
the
tripping out.
outskirts of Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think the closest I got to Atlanta was Commerce, which is on 85. It's just over
Mhm.
the Georgia border. We went there to what's it called? Outlet Mall there. But that was many, many years ago.
Yeah, we
Yeah, my
usually go to
stylist.
Atlanta Braves game every year, and that's the only time we go to Atlanta.
Yeah, I've not seen the Braves yet. I'd like to get down there one day and take a look at I want to go to all 30 major league parks. It's kind of like a life goal of mine. Just to
Mine
see all.
too. Yeah.
So, how many have you been to so far then? Just because now I'm curious.
Um, so unfortunately, you won't be able to go to Montreal, but I've been there.
Oh,
So I've
nice.
watched the Expos play. Um, so let's see. So Montreal, Atlanta, Orioles, and there's one more.
Washington.
Mm, I don't know if I can't. Yeah. Did I go to Washington? I think I went to Nationals.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
it's very close by. I mean, those two parks are only like 45 minutes apart.
but
So I have not been to Montreal's stadium, but I did go to Toronto's. Let's see. I'm working my way down the East Coast. It'll be Baltimore, DC. I've been to the Pittsburgh Stadium and did a tour. I did not get to see a game that day because they were out of town. Let's move. I think that's it for the East. Chicago White Sox, Colorado Rockies. Geez, I've been all the teams that are doing really bad this year. Um, and then San Francisco. So yeah, I've been bouncing all over the place. So
mhm. And I've seen quite a few stadiums. And like the Athletics are moving to Vegas in a couple years, so they'll be there.
yep,
Um,
have,
but It's been hockey season, so that's all I've been
All you've
really
done
into
so.
at the moment. But the Canes didn't make it. We were close. We were close.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's been I've unfortunately at the moment, a White Sox fan, so I understand it's not been a good couple of years.
Mhm.
And my heart really goes out to the Rockies organization and their fans, because I thought that record that the White Sox set last year would not be beat for a long time. Now it looks like that record is going to be beat in 2025. And I really feel sorry for that organization, because goodness me, they are just not doing. They just can't win a game to stay alive. We
Well, the
did take
Rockies beat Atlanta last night. So,
Did they win or lose?
the Rockies won.
Oh, nice.
Atlanta
Good for
did not
them.
show up last night. Oh.
Yeah, we took the girls to a minor league game last night in Norfolk, and they really, really enjoyed that.
Oh, that must have been nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I always
Nikki
wanted to go
says,
see. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just seeing here, Nikki says her sister used to work for the National. She was the manager of the merchandise. So, oh, that's fun. Candace says she liked Turner Field. It was the old Brave Stadium. Super easy to access from the south. I wish I'd gone. I had the opportunity to go to one of their games like 12 or 13 years ago, and then the weather was kind of iffy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like 3 hours to get there, so I didn't go. I think I ended up, so I didn't go. And now I kind of kicked myself. But I also got to go to the Birmingham Barons game, and it was like the last game at their field that they'd been at for a million years. And it was like where Michael Jordan played for them, and a bunch of other history was there too. So
I bet that was
I'm
beautiful.
okay with that decision.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Amber says, we're all about college baseball at my house. Go Tigers. Now, I'm assuming you're talking about LSU, right? Because when you say go Tigers in our family, it's Clemson. Because part of my family lives near Clemson, and some of them went there. So they're all about the Clemson Tigers. Good morning, Jeannie. It's good to see you. All right. So it's not quite straight, but that's okay. Who's got to notice? What piece of fruit is perfectly symmetrical anyway?
Oh, yes. You did such a great job with that.
Thank you.
My lines would have been all off.
It's off by a good, I don't know,
It's
16th
just
of an inch or something.
Yeah.
But I'm not ripping it out and redoing it. I'd
Mhm.
like this to be in the state fair sometime. So
Oh, yeah.
I probably should care, but I don't.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm debating what quilts to put into the state fair this year. I actually am going, I don't know why I didn't think about this when we were talking about quilt shows. I will be traveling to Texas at the end of next month. I have 2 quilts that will be hung at the sewing and quilt expo.
Oh, nice.
So I'm excited about that.
I think they have a sewing and quilt expo up in Fredericksburg too, end of September. Might be
Yeah,
the
it
same
definitely
organization.
travels around. Yeah.
Yeah. And I always want to go to that one, but it's always on the same like weekend as the state fair, and the state fair always seems to win out. So
It would win out in my heart too.
I want to go see if my quilts have a ribbon on them. I don't enter stuff in that show. So
Mhm.
all right, let's use my handy dandy trim. I think they're called trim locks, aren't they, Alan?
Yep.
Fellas?
Mhm.
Okay.
Those are her trim locks.
Well, I got the slide lock, the trim locks. I got a lot of her cool stuff, and I get the names mixed up sometimes. So put them in the middle. Yeah, the
Yeah.
thing I like about these is they just stay put.
Mhm.
Did I use the right one? Hang on. Trimmed. Oh, hang on, that's the wrong size. Trim to 6x6. Okay. So we'll put that in the middle. Just do that around the edge and that, and that, and that. Okay. I think I might have just finished or close to it before the end of the line. That's nice.
You can do it.
I see him play. Okay. Tied. Okay, so Kansas is roll tide. That's Alabama. Yeah, I remember when I was in Alabama, I was working down there for like a week or so, and they all asked me which football team I supported. And I'm not really a American football fan, and that just wasn't an acceptable answer. So
I know, like, how dare somebody not be a
and then
football
I
fan?
couldn't. Yeah, because down in Alabama, there's two options. You have Auburn or you have the University of Alabama. And I couldn't just pick one because there was two ladies in the office. One was a diehard Alabama supporter. The other one was a diehard Auburn supporter. So
Yes.
when they kept pressing me, I was just like, okay, yeah, let's just say go Clemson Tigers. You know, it's the only other team I know.
Yes.
It's like I'm gonna get murdered in this place one day. You know, they just couldn't. These people just could not understand that I was not a football fan.
There's life outside of football.
I tried telling them rugby's the game, you know, but they weren't accepting that either. So it's like, okay, if you got to press me for an answer, you're not going to like the one I'm about to give you.
I
Right,
do
so
want to go to a
trim this.
rugby game one year. I think that'd be fun.
They are so much fun. I took Amanda to one in Australia, and if you watch American football, you know a game takes what 3 hours, 3.5, if there's overtime, that sort of thing. Now we went to it was professional, like it was basically the equivalent of the NFL in Australia, and it was a full-time game plus 2 overtimes, and it was 2 hours. I think it started at 7. We were walking back to the car at 9:15. And that was with 2 overtimes. I mean, I went up to go get a drink and a snack, and when I came back like 5 minutes later, the score had changed like 3 times. I was like, if this was American football, they would have had like maybe three downs. Yeah. So
exactly. And a couple commercials. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. If you ever get a chance to go see a rugby game, it's a lot of fun. If you want something that's quick and easy, they have what they call rugby sevens. Those games are like 15 minutes long. It's a good way to get into the game. So, good morning, Diana. It's good to see you. She said she's in London, Ontario, which is just outside of, well, it's close-ish to Toronto, where she's visiting her granddaughter. She usually hangs out in Bermuda, so it's good there as well. Okay, Nikki says she loves rugby. I don't get it, but I love watching it. Basically, rugby, let's see, we'll give you the Reader's Digest version of this. It's somewhat similar to American football. The idea is to get it down to the try line or the touchdown line. You have 6 tackles, like 6 downs, and that's from when you get possession of the ball to get to the other end. There's no 10 yards. You've got six attempts to get it down there. You cannot pass forward.
Yes, I know that part. Yeah.
And that's the
Lateral
big change. Now, if you think rugby's confusing, go look up Australian rules football. That is a cross between basketball, football, and soccer, because you do not score touchdowns, you score goals. You actually have to kick the ball between these goalposts, and there's 4 of them. If you get it between the center 2, you get 6 points. If you get it between the outer 2, it's 1 point. You have to bounce the ball every 10 meters or about every 11 yards. You have to kick the ball to pass it to someone else. You can't throw it to that. Whoever made up that game must have been drunk or high or I don't know.
It was a bunch of college boys.
I was just thinking that it must have been a bunch of college boys down there in Victoria that decided, okay, let's come up with this game that no one else in the world has. You know, it's an absolute mess. So. Heather says, contrary to popular belief, you do not have to be a sports fan to live in the South. Okay, go to Alabama for a couple of days and talk to some people and tell me if that statement's still true. So. Yeah, I tried to stay neutral. I was trying to be Swiss. That wasn't working for me. So,
They didn't like
and
it.
maybe that was just Birmingham, like the terminal I was working in at the time. You know, I guess if you get around a bunch of truck drivers and um, sort of stuff there, maybe that's what it is. But yeah, no, I tried to be neutral. I was like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. So I just gave them the answer I didn't want to hear. Okay, what am I doing, Sean? Let's see, A and B. All right. I'm so glad this part is done. I was fretting over this. I was like, I'm
Mm.
going to screw this up somehow, especially doing it on a live. I was like, yeah, but it worked. Let's see.
Do you eat
Do
them,
A.
the grapefruit?
No,
No, neither
I'm
do
very
I.
picky. I am very, very picky of my fruit. I love pineapple with a passion, especially freshly cut from the plant. If you've
Mhm.
never had pineapple fresh from the plant, you're missing out. When we were in Nicaragua, that they used to go down the hill. They grabbed a pineapple or two off the bush that they had wherever it was. If I knew where that bush, it's probably a good thing I didn't know where that bush was because I would have been down there, stealing them. And they'd go cut it, and like 20 minutes later, it was on our plate in the food hall. Absolutely fantastic. Love me some pineapple. I do enjoy cantaloupe, or as we call it in Australia, rock melon.
Oh, rock.
And that's the main ones. I'll eat apples.
Yeah.
I'll eat cherries if I'm forced to. But that's
Mm.
really about it. I don't eat a lot of fruit. I'm terrible. If you're looking for good health tips and that sort of thing, I'm sorry you landed in the wrong place. I hope you find what you're looking for, but it's not going to be here. So
Not today.
no,
No.
yeah. If you're here for quilting, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoy your stay. Yeah, if you're looking for good health tips, check out the comments. I'm sure people there might have something for you, but I have nothing here for you. So,
We're big
good
fruit
morning,
people.
Tasha. She is at the soccer fields. Joyce says, "Come on, it's not that bad in Mount Albert." I'm just telling you, the terminal, at the rail terminal I was working in, there was no Swiss flag. You had to declare your loyalty. But I loved Alabama. I loved every moment. It was a beautiful state. I loved the geography. I loved being down there. I considered briefly moving until I heard they had tornado sirens, and I'm like, yeah, peace out. I'm done with this place. But I love being down there, and I'd love to get back down there at some point. And I want to go back to the Montgomery Biscuits games down there because they just have the cutest little mascot and that sort of thing there. But yeah, no, definitely found that there was no, yeah, you know what I'm saying. All right. Sheila says SEC for life. And it always throws me off. Every time I see SEC, I used to work at Chick-fil-A many, many years ago, and I'd see SEC up on the screen. It was sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. So every time I see SEC, even to this day, even though it's been 20 years or close to it since I've worked there, I still think of sausage, egg, and cheese.
I have that same issue sometimes because I worked at McDonald's for 17 years.
You understand where I'm
So
coming from.
all those acronyms, all that stuff, it'll just bring up, and I'm like, oh, the memories. I have to get out of there. I have to get away.
Like, oh, it's a sausage, egg, and cheese conference.
Yeah.
And when I see Purdue, I think they're what the Boilermakers. I still think they're the chickens because we have Purdue chicken nearby here. So okay, Stephen says the strawberries are not ready yet there in Toronto, but they will be next week. I think our strawberry season was like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Mm.
Kathy said she had fresh cut pineapple in the field where it was grown in Costa Rica, the sweetest, most delicious thing of. Yes, okay, yeah. Costa Rica is just down this. I was probably like 150 miles from the Costa Rica border, so yeah, probably same sort of pineapples down there as well. So there you go. Diana said she had fresh picked strawberries and strawberry shortcake for breakfast yesterday. Awesome. Joyce says those sirens are scared the bejesus out. Yes, I think they would. I didn't grow up with tornadoes. I think we had one close by once growing up. What did I do here? I'm sorted. Whoops. Yeah, I don't think I'd do too well with tornadoes. Give me an earthquake. I don't, give me an earthquake any day. I don't particularly like hurricanes, but I'm okay with those too because the ones we get up here aren't that terrible.
No, it's the southern states get the brunt of that,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah. For us, it's usually they come straight for Hatteras on the Outer
Hmm.
Banks. That thing is like a hurricane magnet.
Yeah, usually around Myrtle Beach too. They like to land
Hmm.
and then come into North Carolina that way. But
Yeah, that or Wilmington. Wilmington was it Wilmington? It seems to get a
Wellington. Hmm.
yeah. There was one. I think it was it Matthew? It's like 5 or 6 years
That
ago.
was very destructive down here. Hmm.
Yeah, because that one was the one that was spoke. It was like on the Friday. It was down in Florida, and they kept saying, "Okay, let's go to come up to South Carolina. Let's go to turn." And that Saturday morning, we drove down to. Actually, it was about halfway between my place and yours in North Carolina to a prison. We were doing some prison ministry down there, and we went down there because we weren't expecting the hurricane to come anywhere close to us, and we were down there and we came out and it was like raining and pouring and everything else, and we hear on the radio that they come ashore like 100 miles down the road. Oh my goodness, that was a mess getting home.
Yeah.
We were
Oh,
riding in somebody's big lifted truck, thank goodness, otherwise I don't know we would have made it home.
hmm. Yeah. With all that wind and rain, it's
Oh,
something,
it was
definitely.
like if we'd known it was coming down there we would have stayed home, but no one expected it. Like they got that one massively wrong.
Hmm.
Normally 24 hours before they have a pretty good idea of where it's going to hit, but they missed that one by about 400 miles.
I know. Like, how can you be off that much? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I sometimes think they just have a twister board, they just spin it, if it's like the only profession I know of that you can get wrong all the time and you still have a job. Like if I goofed up that much, my boss would be like, okay, Sean, thank you for working here for the last X number of years, but it's time for you to go.
We need to find somebody with a little bit more better accuracy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I understand that meteorology is hard, and but it just always seems like it. Oh well, yes. Amber says praying for a quiet hurricane season. Me too. Yeah,
Yes.
they're saying it's supposed to be above average here in this area, so I'm hoping they're wrong. That's one time I hope they are wrong.
The weather's been off, I feel, all over the country. Like, it's been
Yes.
cooler than normal at the moment. In North Carolina, it's like been raining nonstop, and it's usually, I mean, the spring and the fall are our rainy seasons, and I mean, it's been raining nonstop, it feels like, for the last 3 weeks.
Hmm.
Uh,
It's like that here too. I feel like did I move to Seattle and nobody told me? Like,
I know. Yeah. Um, Even talking to, like, William, he's just like, "It's just cold over there." Usually, it's already in the hundreds, and he's but it's been in, like, the 70s and 80s some days. He says it's just so weird
wow.
over there. But, yeah,
And
all over
Nikki
the
says
place.
she grew up with tornadoes in Southwest Missouri. My hometown, Joplin, was hit by an EF5. I remember hearing about
Yeah,
Joplin. That
I
that was
remember
that was
that.
devastating.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know that I could do it. I mean, I think if you grow up with it, it's probably just something you learn to, yeah, it's just part of life. But I think having not grown up with that, I think it would, I don't think I could do it.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't
I
know.
know I couldn't.
Melanie says she's in Hurricane Alley. Camille and Katrina both came ashore in my town, Biloxi, Mississippi. Oh, wow. Katrina was a mess.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, we don't get a lot. Where I grew up, we didn't really get a whole lot of weird weather events. You're just hot as Hades in the summertime, but you just went down to the river or the pool for that. Yeah, we're very fortunate. We were too far south to get cyclones.
Mhm.
I think they had an earthquake there once, like it was like after I moved here, and it was like a 4.5 or something. I think a couple of the lawn chairs fell over or something. That was about it. So yeah, we were very fortunate where we lived. We didn't really have anything. Maybe a couple of dust storms. All right. Why does this thing sound like it's? Oh, because it's not threaded. This thing's not been my friend this morning. Good morning, Miss Susan. It's good to see you. Good morning, Prep for Attorney Homestead. It's good to see you as well.
Hey, Jennifer.
Jennifer, I'm glad somebody knows the name. I really do try my hardest to remember everyone's name, and I'm just not doing too good. So, okay, Nikki says you got in the river in Australia after huge gators. Okay, so let's talk about crocodiles. There is no gators in Australia. They're all crocodiles, which main difference is the gator, the nose looks like a shovel head. Crocodiles have those big, long, thin noses. In the southern half of the country, if you're New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia, and the bottom half of Western Australia, you can jump on the river, you're fine, no problem. It's up in the tropical area. Once you get to about the Tropic of Capricorn, don't go on the rivers. That's where you stay out of the rivers because the crocodiles are there and you won't see them before they see you. But yeah, where I grew up, it was perfectly safe to go on the river because, yeah, no crocodiles. Yeah, if there was any fear of a crocodile, in that river, you wouldn't have caught me dead in it. So don't worry about that. Janice says, got to go for now. Catch the rest on the replay. Have a great day. Well, thank you for joining us.
Have a great day.
Polly says, to a tornado that it was wet and wild in Las Vegas about 25 years ago. I didn't realize Vegas would get tornadoes.
Huh. Didn't know that.
I'm learning new stuff every day.
I do know that they get like microbursts over there from weather, but tornadoes, I
think they get some wild, windstorms or something, and maybe some dust storm. But
Rita's talked about dust storms before with me.
Yeah. Did you guys get any of the smoke from the Canadian wildfires the other day?
I didn't smell anything in the air.
Okay. Yeah, I came out of the office on, I think it was like Wednesday, and I was like, oh, it smells like wildfire. That's from all those storms out there, and it's Alberta, I think it's out there. I was like, that's a long, like just a couple of years ago when they had it up in Quebec, it was definitely like it was really strong and you could see it, but why is this off? You have to do something up here.
Let's see here.
Doesn't really matter because I'm about to chop this off anyway. Okay. Moving on. Okay, so what I'm talking about is this is off here in this top corner by a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm about to put this square on and then do a flip and
stitch and flip.
Yeah. So really, at the end of the day, it makes not the first bit of difference. So I'm not going to rip it out and do it again. So very, very thankful that I had to do that.
Yes.
Let's
see.
A, B, C.
This way.
All right. Okay, so Amy says she has to run and set up for a filming. I hope you have an amazing week. Well, thank you so much for joining us for a little bit there. Good morning, Miss Cindy. She says, good morning. Smoke from the wildfires on and off in northeast Wisconsin makes for pretty sunrises for dreary days. Absolutely. Yeah, I can just imagine that. Yeah, I remember, last couple of, it was 2023, about this time of year, actually, we took our then exchange student, Daria, up to DC because, we had to drop her off there so she could go home. And yeah, it was smoky as all get out up there. So, all right, Linda says she just got back from dealing with customers. She'll catch the replay. Well, thank you so much, Linda, for hopping in, and hopefully you enjoy the replay when you get a chance to do that.
Absolutely.
Sheila says Louisiana is the state with the most alligators. Okay, I did not realize. I figured it would have been Florida, but yeah, Louisiana does make sense.
With the Everglades, but with the swamps.
See, I'm learning all sorts of stuff today. Like now if Who Wants to Be a Millionaire calls me up, I'll be like, yeah, sure, let's go. Now I'm dropping my cup
Be
on the
something to
floor.
take with you. Yes.
I always wanted to go on that show in Australia because every time I saw that on the TV, I was like, yeah, I think I would have done all right at that show. Now, the US one, I'd probably fail at miserably because I don't know like the people, like the actors, and a lot of the historical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could pass the citizenship exam okay, but then it's all the other random stuff that you need to know that I would fail. That's why I'd like never apply for Jeopardy because those people just know wicked. They're just wicked smart and know stuff about stuff that I don't know how you know about that stuff.
Exactly. I'm like, what do you do all day? Do you read and research everything on the internet and have these like, elaborate conversations?
I
I
don't
don't know.
know. I mean, I know a lot of random stuff, but yeah, I'm not even.
I know if it was about you, if Jeopardy had useless information, I'd probably attempt.
I've seen like the teen edition. I'm like, those ones that's about my level. Like, if you put me on the teen edition, I probably would rock that one. Or
Mhm.
no, hang on, was it that or the celebrity edition? One of those two.
I
But
don't know.
I don't think they're going to be calling me up for the celebrity edition anytime soon. So, although whatever, if they want to, they are more than welcome to. But I think they're looking for like real celebrities, not just someone that jabber jaws on YouTube every Saturday morning. So, we call them Becca and Ian and Tiffany well before they can phone up calling me. So there you go. So, do you have anything fun planned for your channel in the next little bit that you'd like to tell us about?
Well, I'm finishing up my vlog for July. We're making a 4th of July pic, like a quilt, a throw.
Oh, that's
Um,
fun.
I have that short coming out with a dress. And then somebody asked me, I can't remember, I'll have to go back and look at my comments. They want a tutorial of how to make the jacket that I made about a little over a month ago. Um, Other than that, I might do a couple more long arm videos because that tend to be a little more popular and a lot of people had questions about that. So
That sounds good. Yeah, if you want questions about long arms, please don't ask me because I don't know the first thing about them. So yeah, Jess will be a good resource for you.
oh,
Yeah, a lot of
yeah,
folks are
that's really
saying
about
that
it
they.
at the moment.
Yeah, Susan said she likes to quilt behind on you on the wall, and
Oh,
I
thank you.
think I think I've had a couple other people say the same thing as well. So, well, there's an idea. Cindy says maybe if they had Jeopardy about fabric. Okay, again, I don't know. I'd be a person. I think I would.
Hmm.
There's people that know the fabrics better than me. I know some basic stuff. I seem
Yeah.
to know more about like the Canadian stuff, like Norcott and Vernatex and that sort of stuff. And maybe I could pick out a tool, but that's about it. Yeah, I don't know that I'd excel at that part either. Um, that's a
Yeah, I
good
could
idea.
I could help you with the reproduction fabrics. So
Yes,
I could do that.
yeah.
Uh,
I always, yeah. I figured the other day, I was like, if I ever go on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and I have to phone a friend, I already know who that's going to be. It's going to be my wonderful Indian co-worker. That guy knows everything about everything. Like, yeah, if I need to call a friend who wants to be a millionaire, I'm calling him.
oh, that'd be wonderful.
And that way I could just share the prize money with him. Like, yeah, it's like that'd be fantastic. Okay, so we're making progress. It does look like a grapefruit. You pick up these fabrics sometimes and you're starting to put this together and you're like, I don't know if this is going to work. And
Hmm.
it's always nice when you start to put it together and at the end it's actually starting to look like what you want it to look like.
Um, so the quilt behind me, it's from Modern Quilt Studio, and it was a fabric line that they came out with 2 years ago. So it's a 2024 collection. And it was their mystery quilt that they started in January. Um, but you have to have a fat quarter, and there's like all these values that you have to look into. So you have like that shadow effect that you see on the quilt. It was beautiful to make. I really
Yeah, it
enjoyed
looks fantastic.
it. But I can definitely, I'll put it on my channel, the link to it. I'm pretty sure it's still up. And think that they're still selling the fabric. The fabric's from Benetech, and
Mhm.
Benetech usually keeps their collections a little bit longer than like Moda and Riley Blake and everything like that. So yeah.
I use a decent amount of their fabrics, and it's always beautiful fabric.
Oh yeah. Like Stonehenge, when that came out, I made a quilt from that line and it was beautiful.
Yeah, I've been shopping for my stash a lot recently. Like
Mhm.
this whole quilt, except for the background, has been stash, which is nice. And then the one I'm doing with Tammy, I'll get it right there in a minute, is all from stash. And then I'm also doing a collab with Katie, and that's all from stash. Like it's nice being able to pull like shop from your own stash because I don't have to go anywhere. It's nice to sit there and pet, but it's also good to use your fabric, and it's also nice not having to go to the quilt shop. Like you can just pick up something that looks nice and away you go.
Mhm. Absolutely. Yes. That's what I've been doing too. I've been I told myself at the beginning of the year I'm going to try to be minimalistic with buying fabric at the moment. Um, and everything. Not everything. I do go to Hobby Lobby and get solid fabric and background,
Mhm.
but most of my
Yeah.
fabric has been quilt kits that my mom has gotten me because she's a huge Kim Deal fan, and
Okay.
so we um we participate with Kim Deal together.
Nice.
Um, and she has a
Good.
huge reproductive line, and we love it.
Yeah, I don't think I've worked a whole lot with pre-productions.
Mhm,
Um, I have to try that sometime. It'd be fun to do something a little bit different. But
mhm.
I tend to be more drawn to the bright and happy and that sort of thing there as well. So Michelle Quilter, good morning. She says I signed up for your newsletter today. Can't wait to try the floppy disk pattern. Used them at work years ago. I'd love to see if for those that have downloaded the pattern and want to try it. We found that it only takes about 45 minutes to an hour to cut it out and make it. It's fairly easy. Um, I'd love to see pictures of the ones that you make. It'll be fun to see what you guys come up with on those. And like a lot of my testers that did the patterns for me were not super experienced flipping stitches like I am, which was fantastic. I loved that I had the folks that were beginners in
Mhm.
that as well, because that sort of feedback is invaluable. Yeah, because like you show me a stitch and flip pattern and I'll figure it out even without instructions usually. But well, once I had the dimensions, of course. But
Yeah.
yeah, definitely give it a try and please share pictures. I'd love to see what you'll come up with as well. So made by Misty says looks awesome. Sean, just show us progress too. By the way, subscribe to your channel. Looking forward to seeing this dress. Absolutely, yeah. It'd be fun to see the clothing that you come up with as well. You want to show us what you've been able to get done so far today?
Well, I'm making my rose, and so um, here I can show you what the finished quilt was going to look like, and then I'll show you the color scheme that I'm working with.
Okay.
I made this for my sister. Um, so she's a huge Green Bay Packer fan.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
this is what we're going for. So
Well, that's fun. I
um,
like that.
it's a nice throw. And so I went on the channel and I showed how to make the log cabin blocks and the piece blocks. And then the colorway that we're working with is it's more of the navy, yellow, purple. So it
Well, that's fun.
so this is just a line. It comes together since it's all on the oh my word, the word is leaving me. You have to
turn it, rotate it.
Yeah, you have to rotate it because everything's on point. There you go. The whole quilt's on point. So you have to make the rows and then put it together. So I've been just making the rows. And yeah, it's looking good so far.
I think so too. All right.
I can't wait. I love my 70s dresses at the moment. So 70s inspired dresses.
Very nice. I'm excited to get to use this beautiful fabric now. The outside.
But thank you guys. You're so very nice. It's very kind. Very kind.
All right, what did I do? Ah, okay. Whoops. Okay, hang on a second. Trim 1/2 inch from this section. Ah, okay. Now I get to use that big number jumbo. 6.5. Okay, where'd you go? Come here. 6.5. Okay. A lot of trimming on this. I have not done one of her patterns before that's required this much trimming.
But then again,
go ahead.
Do you use the corner flipper tool?
Yes.
Yeah, I have that too.
Yeah, I saw my Kendall Taylor. I saw he was doing a premiere on this one time using this, and I saw that and I was like, I need that thing in my life. And so I went on the Amazon and bought it like that moment and got it a couple of days later. And I love this thing. It's absolutely, if you do a lot of stitch and flip, well worth the money. I think it was like $24, $25, which I don't like spending that much.
But it is well worth it.
Yeah, if you do a lot of this stuff, it's you'll thank me later. Like, can you do it with regular rulers? Absolutely. You don't absolutely need it.
As long as you have a quarter inch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do a lot of this stuff, just get one. You'll thank me later. Might actually get this block close to being done by the end of this slide. That would be absolutely amazing.
Yay. Love that. Okay. This needs to go this way. Yes, that way.
Back to the chat. Thank you. Yeah, so let's see. Let's grab. No, I think I put it away. There it is. So this is the fabric I'm using for the outside. So you get a better view of it. I almost used a fabric that Sheila gave me earlier this year, but it wasn't. Yeah, it looked like strawberry print. I should have used that for my strawberries. It was a very close second. Yeah, the folded corner clipper. Yes. Okay.
I don't work a lot with batiks. I try, and I have quite a few in my collection, but I haven't gotten to that point of my life yet.
That's all right. Yeah. They're not for everybody. They do feel a little different. You know, I think the first few times you work with it, this has got that waxy feel to it. It's a little different. But I really enjoy working with them. And I think someone was asking me the other day if you can mix them with regular fabric. And my answer to that is yes. I have done it several times and I've never run into any issues with it. So if you worry about that, the pink quilt that I'm doing for our next exchange student is a mix. The quilts that we made for the girls last year are a mix. So.
And when you wash them, do you find like the shrinkage rate is a little bit different though, or?
I haven't noticed any issues.
Okay. That was like my only question with.
Yeah. I mean, we wash everything pretty much on cold. So I don't know, maybe if you wash it on warm or hot, I don't know the answer to that question, but I have not experienced any problems.
Good to know.
I can't say for sure that you won't, but I haven't. See that? Yeah. Nikki says she's been watching Kendall. Cindy loves Kendall. Yeah, he's a fun guy. I need to get him back on the channel at some point, but trying to coordinate We may have to do an evening live with him or something because,
Yeah. I really enjoy him too.
yeah, he's just a fun guy. I had him on once, like my first trunk show where we showcased our quilts. We did a pre-record with him. He was one of my guests for that. We will do that again this year. I need to have Jess be part of that. Along with a bunch of other people. But
Has
yeah,
he ever
he's a
made
lot.
it like the quilt shows around here? Like,
Sorry?
do you think he'll come to like QuiltCon and stuff like that? Would he
I
travel?
don't know. I would probably say no because it's just a lot of expense. Like
Yeah.
an airline ticket from Australia to here or vice versa. I mean, you're looking at every bit of $2,500, and then your hotel and travel and everything else. Yeah, there'd be a lot of money. So
Yeah.
he might come, but I'm not counting on it. But if he does, he needs to let me know so I can meet up with him.
Absolutely. He has a fan base over here.
He does. Yeah, it'd be nice to see him come over. So I don't know. Getting very, very close to the being done. Oh, it's after 9:30. Whoops. Okay. Well, we should probably wrap this up. So yeah, you'll have to come back tomorrow. I thought we'd get finished in time, but we're not going to. But that's okay. So come back tomorrow to the podcast. You'll see this block done for sure. Hopefully you'll get to see the fully assembled quilt top, but I make no promises because we got to take the girls out in a little bit to do some shopping. I don't know. I'll just all I know is I have to be ready to go, and then we'll figure out what's going on from there. So,
That's about
do
right.
you have anything else that you want to tell us before we run off?
No, just hopefully I run into you in Road to Virginia. If you guys are going to be in Texas, Urban Texas Convention Center at the end of July, I'd love to meet up with you too. My information is in the description of my channel. Any of those videos, so you can get in touch with me at any time. But
Yeah. Stay tuned to our different channels. I'll put. No, that's not the right one. Let me just grab your link one more time. You can tell I'm not a professional streamer. I'm a little bit of a hot mess. Okay, so I put Jess's link in there again. If you are watching the replay, you can also check it out in the description and that sort of thing there. But go check out her channel. She has a lot of fun stuff. And we'll try and make a meetup thing in 2 weeks when we go to Road to Virginia. So that way, if anyone's got to hop in, we'll try and meet. I'll try and coordinate it with Tasha and Becca and anybody else is going to be there, so we can just do one meetup, kind of like what we did at QuiltCon in Raleigh last year. That seemed to work out really nicely. So we'll try and do that. If you're interested in meeting up with Jess in Texas, just contact her, or she may put out a community post that says, I'll be at X spot at this day. That should work out as well. I think I said good morning to Jamie, but if I didn't, it's good to see you as well. But with that, come back tomorrow, visit me for my podcast. It'll be good to see you guys and show you some updates. I've done a bunch of work this week, so that's really, really cool. I'm really excited to show you all the stuff. So go check that out. If you want to look at the pattern that I did the other day, the floppy disk, that's still available. And if you run into any issues again with the pattern, you don't get it for whatever reason, please reach out. I'll take care of you. With that, we are going to go say goodbye to you. Thank you so much for joining. If you're watching the replay, say hi in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. Hope you all have a great day. Happy selling, and we'll see you next time. Bye. And I'll hit the button.